You're logged into a session hosted by Leverage Edu. I'm Dr. Maina Chawla Singh. I'm based in Delhi, where there is a big buzz this week because of Diwali. It's been a difficult year. We know that it's been a difficult year with illness and mental health issues and suffering. And I also see that many people, while not forgetting the challenges of the pandemic, are looking at this as a time to be grateful for what we have today. So I see a lot of celebration in the air, and many students were not able to go abroad in 2020. So those of our aspiring students who wanted to study abroad have been able to go in 2021. And I thought this is such a wonderful moment to reconnect with our students and to say hello wherever they are. They're busy. This is coming towards the end of the fall term and everyone's doing wonderful things. So we were able to get two young guests with us here with whom I'm going to have a little conversation. Let me just begin by sharing something that I discovered when I first went to teach in the US, which was a few years ago, and I taught there for 9 years at Georgetown and at American University. My experience was that Diwali is no longer just an Indian festival. It is a festival about which there is almost a global awareness. For one thing, the Indian diaspora community is celebrated almost everywhere. They may not celebrate on Diwali day. If it falls on a Tuesday or a Thursday, they will celebrate closest on the weekend. And then everybody dresses and does very, very similar things to what we might be doing here in India. I also realized that there are strong South Asian students associations and Indian student associations who are all celebrating. But what is it like for young people, study abroad students who are leaving home for the first time and have their Diwali overseas? This is something that I wanted to explore today by talking to a couple of students. We were able to get two young people as our guests. Hello, Shaan, how are you?
I'm good, Doctor. How are you doing today?
Very
Thank
well.
you.
Thank you. Hello, Aakash, how are you?
Hello, ma'am. I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. So wonderful to connect with you. Both Shaan and Aakash are former alums of Leverage Edu. They use the services of Leverage Edu, which is India's top ranking and very, very rapidly growing university admission service for study abroad. You can find us on all the social media handles, on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and whatever else you use. You can also have a 30-minute free counseling session. So that is our host platform. I'm Dr. Maina Chawla Singh. I have been a professor, an academic advisor. I have taught in India, I have taught in the US and in Israel. So I have a multinational, multicultural perspective, also on Diwali. And Diwali, for me, in my courses when I used to teach in the US, was a day that I would create a little awareness about the Festival of Lights, how it is celebrated in so many different ways, not just about the story from Hindu mythology, but it's a cultural thing. It's also color, it's celebration, it's meeting friends, it's, as many festivals are, it's about eating too much food. So on that note, I want to move to Aakash. And Aakash, a couple of quick questions. Tell me where you are at the moment and when did you arrive there?
Right now, I am in London and I'm studying in Brunel University. I arrived on 10th of October of this year.
Okay, so you've been there a few weeks and
Yes.
you had time to acclimatize. And this is actually an urban campus. It's not too far away from the heart of the city, right?
Yes.
Okay, because there can be some campuses which are really far-flung and then you can be really away from things. So are your classes remote or are they on campus?
So some of the classes are remote and some of them are on the campus. So basically, because my class accommodates like around lots of students, so that's why those classes are in the online. The ones which don't have that much, they are on the campus.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you have been attending in-person classes, right?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the interaction. Are there a lot of students from South Asia or India in your class, in your university?
Yes, there are a lot of Indians, and basically most of them are Indians, and then comes the Pakistanis, the Bangladeshis, the Sri Lankans. The most of the South Asian community are there. So basically, it's like a dominating community in the university.
Interesting, very interesting. So there's no question of feeling lonely or isolated.
Not at all.
Oh, that's interesting because a lot of study abroad aspirants would be curious about that. All right, so tell me, what has the social interaction been like? Has there been a buzz last few days about Diwali get together or something like that? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so basically there's societies in the universities like Indian society. So they have organized these events. So Diwali party was held on the 27th of October, and they're followed by the Halloween party. And now today there is this Diya decoration thing till the 4th of November. There's like lantern decorations, Diya decorations, cultural wear kind of thing. Everything is like a Diwali based week for the whole week. This
Wonderful. So does the university organize this, or is it the students?
It's basically the students go to the university and they approach it with these ideas, and the university approves it because of course they have to. And as it's very cultural, not only just Diwali, there's like a lot of other countries' cultures also being adapted in this university. So every week there is something happening in the university. It's like you cannot let go of it.
So what you're trying to say is that Diwali is now very well recognized as an important global festival, which is part of the international calendar, for which there are these not ceremonies, but are these events, cultural events, which are organized. Tell us a little bit about what was the 27th October, was it 27th October event?
27th.
Okay,
yeah.
What was it like? Give us a flavor very quickly.
It was like a Diwali party, like a Bollywood Diwali party. There was like games and all happening. And not only just Indians, there were also the multinationalites who were trying to adapt to the culture. Everyone was just going around exploring the events. So it was like a vibrant day for everyone. So today at 6 p.m. it's going to be the same. For the next few days, it's going to be the same only. So it's like a whole Diwali week.
Wonderful. You mentioned Bollywood, and I'm like, you can't do anything about India without Bollywood, right? So every campus has got a spirit of Bollywood. And I realized that also when I was teaching in the US, that became like a glue for everyone to come together, because Bollywood songs are understood and enjoyed by people in our neighborhood as well. So Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, people from Sri Lanka, all Bollywood songs resonate with them, and Bollywood dances too. And many campuses have these Bollywood dance clubs. So there are all these. Tell me about food and dress. Are you still being served hamburgers, or is it Indian food? Do people wear Indian clothes? Give us a flavor.
No, people don't wear Indian clothes, but there are a lot of Indian restaurants in London. There are like a lot. So every 2 blocks you go, there's this at least 3 to 4 Indian restaurants. You see left, right. There's this Indian restaurants. There's Pakistani restaurants. So the food part, I don't think so. I'm feeling very sad that there's no Indian food around here. But the clothings, the cultural, some part, yes. We don't dress as much as Indian over here, except for the events like the cultural event like Diwali, Navratri, everything.
Oh, Navratri. That's interesting.
Yeah,
there was an event of Navratri as well.
Yeah, the Navratri happened, but I couldn't attend because I was in my quarantine. So I didn't attend that. So after the quarantine, the Diwali thing happened and I went there.
Okay. So this is interesting, that on campus in the UK, there is now an integration of in-person and not in-person, all of that together. It's almost like people are living with the pandemic, not just afraid of the pandemic. We know that there have been a lot of infections even despite the vaccinations, but you're telling us that there is an interesting blend of restricted life as well as normal life, whatever normal that might be. Okay, so I'm going to now say hello to Shaan. And Shaan, which is the university in which you were enrolled?
I'm in University of Toronto, Scarborough.
Okay, University of Toronto, where did you say?
Scarborough. I'm in the Scarborough campus.
Scarborough campus. Okay. Are you an undergrad or grad student or?
Yes, I'm in my first year of my undergrad.
Oh wow! So is this like? Did you study abroad before? Did you go from India?
Yeah, I came from India.
So you've done your schooling here and you've just gone as an undergrad.
Yes.
That is wonderful. So tell me, are classes hybrid or online, remote?
They're online, unfortunately. At least for this semester, they're online, and we're next semester it's all going to be in person, every class.
Okay. So since everything is online, have you felt connected socially to the groups student community and so on? Has that been happening? Tell us a little
Yes,
bit
of
about
course.
that.
We're actually very connected. I've joined a club myself. There are many Indian clubs, like Aakash said, at my university as well. Planning events for Diwali, holding dance competitions virtually and stuff like that. So you don't feel like you're out of India at all, but you also see you get the international sense of how Diwali is celebrated and how Indian festivals are enjoyed around the world.
Excellent. So tell me a little bit about, I'm very fascinated when you say virtual dance competition. What does that really mean? When somebody is competing, are they making videos or are they live dancing in front of a computer which is on a table? How does it happen?
So it's mostly just recorded. They recorded themselves, and if you send it to a panel, judges will judge them and announce a winner. So they see things like your outfit, how what type of traditional dance you're doing. It can be Kathak or something like that, and they just judge you on that basically.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's been happening for Diwali? Is there some talk? Are there messages coming? Are people interacting? Is there something planned for last weekend or this coming weekend? What's happening?
I don't think it's as lively as Akash's university. It's not that exciting, but there are a few things. I mean, like Akash said, there's a dominating South Asian community here. Even in my program alone, there are many Indians and South Asians. So yes, students do come together and celebrate together. If not through a club, they'll just come together and go to a restaurant to celebrate with their own friends, not affiliated with the university. So yeah, it's very much there. It's not there at all, but it's just not as exciting as Aakash is.
So that I can totally understand, because they say that the way that you can feel Indianness in the UK, you probably can't in the same way across the US and across Canada or other places, because the UK has a very long history of Indian migration, both before India became independent, during colonialism and afterwards. And I'm a scholar of Indian diaspora. That's what I've done research on, and it's very fascinating because the earliest Indians who went to the UK was a very, very long time ago. So in Britain, they're much more familiar with the little details of Indian and South Asian culture, much more than in Canada and the US, where it is a little bit more recent. So when you said Navratri, for example, Navratri is observed also by many communities in Canada and in the US. But I think the way most of these things are commonly understood in the UK is probably quite unique. At the moment, you are studying remotely, and you are not yet on campus. So do you feel that this semester has been a challenge compared to what you would have loved in terms of social interaction? Tell me, Shaan.
I would have loved meeting my friends in person, making new friends, every week and stuff. But it's not that bad as well, because everyone is connected and everybody wants help. Everybody wants to make new friends. So we're very connected through Instagram and WhatsApp. But nothing would have been better than being in person. But there's no complaints, because I'll be there soon. And I'm enjoying it online. I know it'll be even better in person.
Absolutely. So well articulated. That yes, I think we've all learned to do things virtually, but we know that it's not quite the same as actually the touch and feel and hear the voice and see the person in real life the way that. So we're all tired of our Zoom lives, right? We're waiting for things to get more and more like they used to be, although I don't know how they will be exactly like they were. But I think technology will remain an important part, but I think we will value human interaction even more than we used to value earlier. So Aakash, tell me a little bit more about how you have felt this semester, because you've been there just a few weeks. And what is your experience from the point of view of a student who is just settling in and adapting? Is there something you want to say to other aspirants who will go in for the spring intake or 2022 fall intake?
So basically, it's just that you have to get adapted to the things, as in basically they just keep on going. The university just doesn't stop for anyone. So you just have to keep on going. Before I came to UK, my classes were already began. So So as in the first 2 weeks were already on. And thanks to the university, the classes are also recorded. The in-campus classes are also as recorded because there's a camera in the class and the voice recorder is always the professor. So it's recorded and then it's been uploaded immediately after the class. So thanks to that. So basically you have to just keep on going. And the thing is that the adapting is very important. If you don't adapt, then you'll be like, feeling lonely. You'll be like, I miss my country. I want to go back. This is the feel which you will get. You have to definitely get adapted to the weather. The weather is like, it's very different from where I come from. I come from a very humid country, and over here it's like very cold, and my feet and my hands are like really chilling. So basically, you just have to adapt to it, and then the things just go on the way it's supposed to go.
Today you're wearing a festive Indian kurta, and so we see you in a festive spirit. But yes, you raised an important point about adapting. So I think adapting to food and to climate is important, but it's still superficial. I think the important thing you just said about adapting otherwise as an international student is to have that mindset. After all, when you go as an international student, why are you even thinking of going abroad? Because you want the adventure. You want a different level of education. You want a different level of exposure. So you need to remember that you have chosen that different exposure. You have chosen to go outside of your comfort zone. So things are not going to be comfortable in every way, right? So if they are so comfortable, they're going to be dull and boring. It's just going to be more of the same. So things are going to be different. Some are going to be amazing and some are going to be a little annoying. And you need to deal with all of that, and you need to basically embrace it. We're not telling you to like everything. You won't like everything, but you don't like everything about anything, right? When we live in our own country, do you like everything? No, there are things that annoy you. There are things that annoy us about our school, even about our friends. So when you go to an international situation, the important thing is to embrace the difference, because we are different for other people, right? So they embrace Diwali and they embrace who we are. And it's important in that spirit to also embrace difference. And there's the big catchword, diversity. Remember that when you were filling your applications, how you read in the mission statements of the universities that diversity is important. And so we are all part of that, supporting that diversity. And we need to embrace that diversity. And I want to say that, you mentioned Halloween. That was so interesting that the university, gives a nod to Halloween, to Diwali, to Christmas, maybe to Jewish festivals as well, Jewish New Year or whatever it is. And so I want to say that it's important for all of us to, of course, raise global awareness, but also to embrace that difference. Shaan, is there something you want to share with us about your being abroad and how you have seen? I know that you told us that you grew up also in the Caribbean. So tell me a little bit about Indianness in the Caribbean. There are lots of Indians there?
Yeah, there are actually a lot of Indians here. So it's usually the same things every year. It's a small place, so there are not many different things people do. It's the same, going to your friend's houses and doing a puja over there, or going to another friend's house doing a puja, and just outside bursting firecrackers. I know that's not as popular today, but it used to be back in the day. And we would act out just play some Hindi movies. We would act out some old Hindi movies and try to guess the character, guess the movie, stuff like that. Very fun Indian activities. And the one thing I liked was how every year we would do puja in the same places, and it was actually very traditional. I've learned many things outside of India about India. The things you do in the puja. I've learned many songs, that you play during these festivals and stuff like that. So I'm very grateful that I got to experience all of that being out of India. So that's always there every year, and I'm hoping to be a part of it again this year and tomorrow actually.
Yes. Yeah. So, I'm just saying that you are confirming what I was saying and what my research has shown about how the Indian diaspora community, the Indian overseas communities all over the world do preserve many of their traditions, and they pass it on from generation to generation. And Shaan, you are a perfect example of how that has been transmitted also to you. And now you're going to take it to Canada, right? You're going to meet other people who are of Indian origin and are in Canada, and you're going to see how that goes. So you will be there in another few weeks, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So what now? I have a little question for both of you. On Diwali Day, what do you think you can do in a small way to enhance the awareness about Diwali among people who are your international hosts or friends who are not of Indian origin? Tell me a little thing that you can do and a little thing that you would like to do to share the spirit of Diwali, of celebration. You can do it online. I don't mind. You don't have to go meet people, but give me an idea.
Can I go first?
Yes, of course, of course.
So what I would do, I mean, now is Diwali, everybody knows the festival lights and stuff, and there are many diyas. And what I've seen is that people who are not Indians find lighting diyas very fascinating. So I would say if I have any friend that's not Indian, I would light a diya with them, and just make them light it, be with them, and just create that sense of light, clarity, happiness, and stuff. And just make them light at the end, put it across. It can be outside the house, inside the house, anything like that. But just showing them, just making them understand the concept of what light does and what it means to us on this festival. It could be one small year or many.
That is so charming, because what you said about light, you kept using the word light again and again. And I love that, because Diwali, actually, the most important, the most abiding aspect of Diwali is light. And light in all faiths and all religions is celebrated because it is the opposite of darkness. It is a symbol of goodness, of strength, of good cheer, of happiness, of everything that's positive. And I think that is something which does not know any boundaries of religion or faith or culture. So that would be so wonderful, because part of the international experience is to build bridges. Remember that as international students, you are there walking on bridges that other people have built, and you are there to build new bridges. Okay? What do you think, Aakash, you can do? A little something that you might want to do? Maybe you can use your experience online. What would you like to do? And then I'm going to share a little trick of my own. Okay.
I actually would like to go offline in this one. As in, I have some international friends in the campus. One of them is Chinese, one of them is Somalian, one of them is American. And I was thinking, I have some Indian clothes with me. I'll make them wear, and we'll dance on Bollywood songs, light the diyas, and have that Diwali vibrant, and just show them how we celebrate the Diwali in our country to them, and also make them understand the festival's motive, the festival's need, what is the origin of the festival, etc. So we'll be like sharing our thoughts about it, the most joyful festival of India.
That is incredible. I want you to share this idea with other Indian students and tell them that they should find at least one person with whom they can share this. Imagine what camaraderie this builds, what friendship this builds. And I'm going to share a little trick with you, a little thing that I used to do when I was teaching courses on South Asia in the US. On Diwali, there was never a holiday. I would have to go in the morning and teach my class. I couldn't skip it. So I would just make sure I went in Indian clothes. I would try and get some mithai. I would start the conversation. But I used to do something else 2 days before. On our class Facebook group, I would write a little post about what Diwali is in its cultural forms and what people do, including play cards, right? They shop, they play cards, they do many different things in different parts of India. And finally, I would say to them, find an image on Google about Diwali and post it on our Facebook group. I cannot tell you how stunning that was, because it was easy. Everybody would find an image. Sometimes people would say, I can't decide on the image, I'm going to post two. And we would have a flood of images right down the line, posts. So Diwali morning, we would have all these posts to look at. And the posts look so bright with all the diyas and the oil lamps and other images of crackers and lights. So maybe that is something you can do, is start something on Insta and say to everybody, that maybe they can post an image, and then you have a whole long list of images which represent light, and light that we can share with many of our friends and classmates and peers who are from all different parts of the world. So I want to say it's been really amazing, and we hope everywhere, wherever you are, you're going to have great Diwali, and be your positive self. Find somebody to share that positivity with. You know that when we share good cheer, it multiplies. So on that note, I'm going to say Happy Diwali to everybody who is logged in. I'm saying Happy Diwali to Shaan and to Aakash, and spread the good word and spread good cheer. Happy Diwali, guys.
Happy
Happy
Diwali.
Diwali.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.